Now, you mentioned all the gyms and you're sitting right in front of the Doherty's logo there. Take us back to, there it is, the 24, the famous 24's logo. There's probably every bit as famous, I think, for people in the industry as the famous Gold's gym logo. So take us back to, when was it, 1994, come to Melbourne as a probably young, angry bloke from Bendigo.
Yep. 1994, I rented a warehouse around the corner from here with nothing, Corey. I had a truckload of broken equipment and a big dream to build this brand. And, you know, I opened up this little warehouse with 0 members, no money behind me. I had a huge debt because I'd stuffed up everything at the country gym. Just being a young bloke that thought I knew everything when I knew nothing. So I completely stuffed it all up and, got my parents, talked them into putting their house up against the loan that I needed to buy the gym that was overpriced, that then failed, and a whole lot of things. So I come down here, bottom line, with a lot of debt, no income, no education, no finances, no one believing in me, pretty busted sort of unit. And I opened, the first Doherty's gym in Union Street, 1994. And man, when I say no money, I had no money. I had a garbage bag with my clothes in it, like a duffel bag with my shoes in it, and that was it. And then I had 3 possessions in the world. I had a rice cooker, a vertical grill, and a couch. So what I used to do, I know you've heard this story before, but people love it. So what I used to do, we used to open at 6 in the morning. So I'd get up at 5 and I'd have a shower and I'd walk up to Sydney Road, and McDonald's used to open at 5:30. So I'd get a cup of coffee. The newsagent next door, I'd get the paper. Then I'd walk back to the front of the gym, and now it's like 10 to 6, and there's people waiting out the front for the gym to open. So I'd put that paper under my arm and have my coffee, and so, that tram ride was a whole lot of fun today. Those stinkers on the tram, coming from my imaginary home, and I'd open, it was a big sliding gate, and I'd open the gate up and open the doors up. Come on, everyone, let's get in and have your workout. And then I'd stay and I'd do all the hours. So I was there 7 days a week, but we're open from, I think it was 6 till 9 or 6 till 10. So 9 or 10 o'clock at night, I'd go through the same charade. So see everybody, and I go to the front. Oh shit! There's a few of them out in the front talking shit, or having a smoke and talking to all the bouncers be out there talking about, all the blokes they bashed, all the women they slide, mate. Be telling all their bro stories. Oh god! I'd listen to that for 10 minutes. See you guys, and I'd walk off. I'd go into the car park across the road and hide behind a tree. And I'd wait till they all left. Come back in undercover, open the doors, and I'd sleep on the couch. Mm-hmm. So, I didn't get a wage for several years, but that first year, I didn't have anywhere to go to. I just stayed on the couch. But the important thing for me was I didn't need to tell anyone or say, oh, poor me, what about some sympathy or some kind of handout? I thought, no, because then you don't have any dignity. I thought, if I can just do this with grace, and maintain my dignity, it'll be okay. And the other thing I learned back then was that you need to worry always about what you can do, not what you can't do. So people come in and say, oh, Tony, this is a good gym. You've created a good vibe with your pitches and your hardcore equipment, which was all secondhand. And I'd get $2,000, I'd go buy a leg press. I'd get $1,500, I'd buy another crossover cable, secondhand or whatever, some more weights or whatever. But I could never afford cardio equipment. So you put like 2 treadmills. You got all this, and the place is getting busier and more of a vibe. You need a new treadmill. I thought, well, treadmill at the time would have been $3,000 or $4,000, which I never had. So I'd be like, I've got $80, I'll go buy a can of paint. So I'll go and buy a can of paint. So I mean, you worry about what you can do. Okay, I can't buy a treadmill, what can I do? I can make that wall look really good. So go buy a 20-litre bucket of paint, and I'd paint a wall. Well, I did that. Then the next week I'd move the pitches from one side to the other side, and the other, flip them over. Then the next week I'd move where the squat racks were. I'd take them out of the floor with an impact drill, cut the bolts off with an angle grinder, move them to the other side, and move all the dumbbells back over to that side. People say, what are you doing that for? And I said, oh, because it's going to look better. It's going to be a better workout experience when you come in. There's more flow. But the psychology really was that people would always think, this guy's always doing something. You must love this place, because they're going to the gym and see people sitting there bored. And this is before everyone had, a cell phone and social media. So people would be reading a magazine or watching TV or watching old bodybuilding videos or whatever. I thought, I never want to be that guy. I want to be this energizer person. that people just go, what the hell is with this dude? He never stops. So that's how I stayed in business for the first, second year. You know, I rented a little dump across the road just so I had a bed. You know, I had an old car that I was doing up, and I had this old Jeep I used to bang around. I sold one of them because the power got cut off, and I thought, oh, if I sell that car, I can get the power put back on. And then the other one I swapped with a guy for a lap pull down because he liked cars and I needed equipment. So there's always this cycle of no matter what, we'll keep the doors open, and the power would get cut off, and the phone would get cut off, and I'd be broke as hell, you know, but I'd still find a way forward. So this was this is how it all got started. Then in 1998, you know, we finally outgrew that building. That's when we moved around here to Union Street, to Western Street from Union Street. And I just got on my feet. I'm thinking, shit, finally, you know, I've got a few members. I'm starting to look like I'm going to get a wage one day. Everything's going good. Then, of course, I moved in here, tripled the rent, and decided to go 24 hours. And you've got to remember, right now, there's no 24-hour gyms in Australia.
Yeah.
So everyone once again said, you're crazy. This is going to fail. How can you possibly open a 24-hour gym? Who's going to go? I said, well, if you've got an hour, I'll tell you all the different people in the city of 4.5 million people that work night shift or work late. And let me explain. You 9 to 5 people, you don't finish work at 5 o'clock and go, bedtime. You know, you go exercise, or you go to the pub, or you go have a meal, you watch, you know, TV or whatever, and then 5 hours later, you crash out. So I said, if you finish work at 2 in the morning or 3 in the morning, what are you going to do? And I thought about emergency workers, you know, police and ambulance and firemen. I thought about people that work in airports, you know, pilots and hostesses that land at 2 in the morning. And I thought about all the people in hospitality, waiters and chefs and all these people that finish after midnight, and then your bouncers and your strippers and your nightclub people and your bartenders and your croupiers at the casino. And this is, I can keep going, you know me, for another half an hour, and all these people that no one thinks of. And they're like, you're right. And then I thought, well, not only that, but we could do all of our cleaning between midnight and 5. Because I used to hate it if I'd visit another gym with some posters or whatever, or I'd be traveling, and, you know, it's 9 o'clock in the morning and some pricks at your feet with a vacuum cleaner moving bins, and it drives me mental. So I thought, well, imagine if every night from midnight to 5, while you're open, that person's effectively a cleaner. So when you walk in the morning, it always smells like a hospital. You walk in, it's disinfectant, the toilets and showers have been scrubbed and so on. I thought, well, that makes sense. And at that stage, one of the first Coles in Australia to go 24 hours was the one over the road at Berkeley Square. And this is how it all started. I said to the manager, why do you do that? Or who goes there that time of night? He said, well, a lot of people go to 7-Eleven. And we're losing a lot of business to convenience stores where people are happy to go and pay twice as much because they're always open. So we thought as a group, we'd try it with a couple of our supermarkets. He said, because what you guys don't realise is that we'd never turn the lights off. There's always people there stacking shelves. And we have a group called the Night Fill that come in and they, you know, think about it, because you always go to the supermarket, the shelves are all full, especially now. But they have night people on all the time. And the manager, because I spoke to the manager, he said we had to put one girl on at the front as a cashier to stay open, you know, from midnight till 6 or whatever it was. Yeah. So the penny dropped. I'm like, I could just have one person here that's the cashier and the cleaner and keeps people company. And then from a duty of care perspective, you know, if someone's wife, sister, daughter wants to come down here at 2 in the morning, my staff will make sure they can walk her out to the car and make sure she's got safe passage. This is why then all these other, so we were like the pioneers with it, and everyone said it can't work. Now there's a 24-hour gym on every corner, so maybe I knew something. But the point they missed with all this key card access and fingerprint access and anyone can go in any time, there's no duty of care. So someone can have a medical condition in the middle of the night, and it's happened. A man, or more likely a woman, can be attacked by a desperado, and you can't, doesn't matter about CCTV, you can't undo a violent kind of happening. Whereas if you've got someone on duty all the time, well, I think that's how it should be.